Hello there YouTube, I'm Wheelchair21, and on today's rolling review we'll be looking at the Kyutama Gattai Series 01 Kyurenoh Mini-Pla set. Now, it is a candy toy, it is a model kit, and you have to assemble it. Now, mine's already previously assembled, but I want to show these new types of boxes that they're being set in. Originally, you can only get them in cases of 2 sets normally completed. However, now they're making it that you can just get the entire mecha by itself now in these little gift packages, and it's a lot more cheaper and affordable than getting the entire case. We see the 5 main Kyurangers that form your basic version of Kyurenoh. Here, you have the Mini-Pla as well as the assortment. A and B makes your Shishi Voyager. You have the actual wolf, bull, chameleon, and your swordfish. And it shows that it comes with miniature Kyutamas. Now, I do like the fact, like I said, that it is a nice, gift set and packaging, and the box art is splendid, even though most of the suit for Kyurenoh is omitted from the box art outside of his initial face. Each of the Voyagers has their own Kyutama cockpit that has inside of it the constellation symbol as well as a sticker that signifies the Senshi piloting it. So I'm going to go from left to right. So we have here green, chameleon, which as one can see, the sticker there shows Hammy is piloting her mecha. You see the chameleon on the back. There's no real rotation gimmick. They're just solid pieces of plastic and stickers, with the rotation piece being the orbs around it. It's not that great, it's not that good, but it's nice. We have Garu here in blue. Now the problem is the plastic here for the blue is very dark and deep blue. And you can only really get to see the actual wolf symbol, whereas the cockpit itself just doesn't really glisten that well. You have to hold it at a specific angle just to see it. You have Shishi Red, which is very nice, very amber-like. The red glows when it's hit with the right type of light. You have your lion, you have your Oshi, where you have Champ here. And now, because it's black, it's very difficult to see through. The actual symbol is a lot easier due to the fact that the sticker uses a nice white metallic. But the cockpit itself, very hard, as you can see, to see through. And then you have freaking Spada, which honestly is a nice luminescent kind of clear yellow. And it's a nice jewel, if I may say so myself. And then you have your individual Voyagers. You have Chameleon here, very nice brown plastic. I used actual testers for the brown here, but most of this is all Tamiya's, like lime green and the chrome silver and clear red. And honestly, it's a splendid little mecha. I like the fact that you can open its mouth and pull out its tongue, but because I put an extra layer of silver in there, it's very tight and snug, but, you know, it'll pop out. You apply your actual Kyutama on the ball joint, and actually most of the mechas themselves all require them to be plugged on via ball joints outside of Shishi's. Here we have Garu's Wolf Voyager, and honestly, it's very splendid. I like it. Originally, I intended to use a lighter Tamiya blue. However, I was going to mix it, the regular blue, with some white. However, I liked how the basic blue just came out pure. It just looked beautiful, it looked amazing. But some people are probably going to argue with me I should have used light blue. But I think it came out really decent, really nice. There's some spots, though, where I still need to touch it up probably one more time with just a light, small, fine brush. And then you pop in his Kyutama as so. Now, the one thing I do find a little bit annoying is the fact that they're all on ball joints, per se. Just due to the fact that, honestly, the paint does help it stay on and not pop off as easily as other toys may do so. Shishi will be last since it's not a ball joint. You have Ushi, very nice black, silver, reds, really good, really nice. I do like the fact that it does have some wheels. It's, I think, the only mecha to actually feature any wheels on it when it rotates and moves, so that's actually interesting. You have Kajiki. Now, one issue I have really with Kajiki is the fact that the actual sword fish area, the actual blade of its snout, is a little too short. Now, in the show, in this form, when it's just the Voyager, it's the right accurate size. However, when it becomes the arm, it gets longer and bigger and is doubled as a sword. Also, because of how it has to double as a foot, it can't rotate and properly be used as the weapon it's seen as in the show, which then one can only use piercing attacks with it instead of actual slashing attacks, which I kind of am discouraged with. As one can see, what happened was my hand was still wet with yellow paint, and I got some blemishes there. It kind of annoys the hell out of me, and I didn't realize it at the time that this had not dried all the way when I was putting it together. And then you just plug in Spada here on the butt end. Very nice, very cool. I do like the fact, though, still, that it tilts up a bit. It's like one of the only few with actual face articulation outside of the chameleon. And then Shishi Voyager. Now, this is the funny thing. A lot of people, after watching the show, started getting the nod that it's very much like the Varabloom. And honestly, I could see why. I mean, it's a lion, it's a giant jet-like spaceship thing, and it's very huge and bulky, especially where you attach the other cockpits in. You could actually plug in areas that could then become propellers. So I like how it's sort of maybe a Go Ranger tribute, just because of its shape and its design. It's not exactly like it because it needs to be more white, but honestly, it's very enjoyable. I used a lot of silver paint, as you can see in the lower half, and regular to me a red and some gold. Now, one thing I'll tell people is always use a matte coat when dealing with silvers and golds. I always forget that mistake when I'm doing these model kits, and I always screw myself up. And this one plugs in as if you're forming a limb on any of the other mecha pieces. And that's one thing that's really cool about this overall set. I don't know why, but I want to call them origamis, but I should say they're animal forms. They're very splendid, very unique, and very cool. A friend of mine argued this is how Ninja should have done it, by trying to attribute different animals and vehicles as one. They should have tried to combine the aspects so they are all like streamlined and have a very interesting kind of motif and gimmick to them, as being, you know, doubles as animals and vehicles at the same frickin' time. So to combine it, you just rotate the front paws around, and pretty much one needs to really just rotate the head of the lions and then put the face down, and you got your body. Now, the one thing I forgot to do in vehicle form was that these thrusters stay out, and then they fold back when forming your mecha, and then you pretty much form each of the limbs to lock into place. And it doesn't matter really how you're supposed to do it, but there are specific certain features that you should do it in to get the right formation. Now here we have our Mini-Pla Kyurenoh, fully assembled, fully applied, and goddamn, it looks magnificent. Now, I will tell you that you do not have to paint it unless you want to, unless you're experienced, unless you just do it as a hobby, and you're just trying to hone your craft. And honestly, I'm not the greatest of painters. I'm decent, I'm alright, and I at least enjoy my end results, even if there are blemishes. You know, you can't always be perfect, and you gotta just deal with what you got. And honestly, I can always fix some of these mistakes if I choose to. Now, some people may argue that I should have reviewed this thing before I painted it, but I'm one of these guys where I'm like, who cares? There's always going to be a guy who's going to beat me to this review, so I might as well do what my final result is when I'm fully done with the damn thing. And if anyone wants to see the unpainted, just regular stickered version, just go check out the Visible Ninja. He's like one of my best friends, and he's also another reviewer, so go support him as well as support me. And the mecha itself is splendid. I understand why a lot of people love Kyuranger. It's this whole swap and switch gimmick that you can have an arm be a leg and a leg be an arm. Now, personally, I don't like certain swapping aspects of it, only due to the fact in Series 1, they don't give you an extender joint for black and blue to be arms. They're kind of just weird little nubs, as if they're the deluxe mecha. Whereas Set 2, Sasori and Washi give you an extender that can double for these two as well as be used on them. So, with Set 2, it makes everything come full circle and have a purpose to be a limb of any sort. Now, it does have a wide range of articulation. With blue and black, they give you an actual ankle tilt right around here. You have your knee joint, you have your hip, and actual full motion leg. so you can actually kick and like roundhouse kick a motherfucker if you need to. You have your waist, which is very nice and snug, especially since I put paint on it. You have a double jointed shoulder, one where it allows it to extend up and allow it to rotate 360, as one has seen, for it to form into the mecha. Each has a bicep joint and an elbow joint that is well concealed, Kajiki and Chameleon. All you have to do is just pull it out a bit. It's somewhat similar to, I would say, the monkey and the turtle in Shinkeno's Mini-Pla set, where it's well concealed and you just gotta like pull it out to reveal the joint. And I like that aspect, I really do, and it's really great. And like I said, you can still use the tongue. It's not as cool and whippy-like in the show, but you can use it kind of as like a weird, blunt, wrench-like weapon to beat someone with. And then you have your Kajiki, which can't be used to do the whole star break pointer thing, but it's still nice nonetheless, because you can still have it be a piercing jab and just mess up mofos whenever you want. And then you have your head, which is able to do 360, and for some reason, the way that the joint is made, it at least makes it look like it can nod, which I find very cool and awesome. As well as, I always have loved the fact that they have these nice metallic faces for most of the mechas. Now, not all of my mechas use the cool, basic, generic metallic face, but some of them do. You can look back at some of my videos, or even on my Instagram posts with me, updating with my customs. And I think only 3 of them thus far do not actually have their initial face sticker on there, and it's actually painted in. So anyways, like I said, one doesn't need to paint them. Just do it if you're experienced or you enjoy doing it as a luxury and a hobby. For the fact that it has multiple points of articulation, it's great, and it sets the standard, or returns to the standard of what Mini-Pla are like, due to the fact that back in Zyuoh, they were kind of not really all there. Zyuoh kind of just avoided a lot of articulation as formations went on and evolved throughout the series, and I do like the fact that I can switch the limbs if I need to because of the Kyutama sockets. So it doesn't matter what you use as an arm, what you use as a leg, it's all up to you. And I think that's why this series is popular, and I really do love its mecha, but not necessarily do I love the show. Anyways, if you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Also subscribe if you're a new viewer, as well as check out all my other videos on my channel. Check out my website, Hero Club, as well as Hero Taku, and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'll see you all next time with some more Mini-Pla reviews, because I have, well, actually, some more Mini-Pla in general, since I've kind of just did a giant backlog through the majority of March to April.